गुरवे श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So I welcome you all again in this session. Like we discussed in the last session of Discover Yourself, we were trying to discover the inner self within us. So these were the topics. My screen is visible to each and everyone.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. If there is any glitch with the audio or video, just stop me over there, please. Thank you. So we discussed, there was a five topics we were about to discuss about the inner self. And we discussed about the first topic in the last session, am I a matter or am I a spirit? So we discussed with some practical examples, like if there's an accident, a Mercedes car analogy, and your friend whom you would just save. So many things we discussed. So we will proceed to the second part of the session, that is the scientific proof for existence of the soul. So slides are moving. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So by the four means, we'll come to know like everything, like last this time also we discussed that everything around us is so scientifically driven that our minds are also totally scientifically oriented. So whatever we do, whatever we see, experience, we want a scientific proof. Especially the children and the youngsters nowadays, they find everything very scientific. So when we discuss about the existence of the soul, and Krishna also starts in the Bhagavad Gita, in the very beginning, he gives the lessons of the soul. देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिर् धीरस्वप्नमोहिते. One side Arjuna is confused whether not to fight or fight, and Krishna is starting Bhagavad Gita with the knowledge of the soul. So why Krishna is doing it? Because Krishna is the origin of the science. Krishna is the originator of the science. So all the scientists, whatever the brain they have, is been given to him to them by Krishna only. So Krishna is the having the originator of everything. So for the originator of the science, also Krishna is the one. So Krishna also started with the science of soul. It was around 5,000 years ago, but now today's scenario, if we see, so we'll just turn it around little with the scientific proofs that is existing around us. So the four things we can find scientifically for the existence of the spiritual. One is the common sense. We'll discuss what is this common sense is. And why do we don't have this common sense to find and agree with the existence of the soul? Consciousness, a near death experience or out of body experiences. Have anybody heard of this near death experience or out of body experience?
No, Prabhuji.
No. Okay, so it'll be a new insight for everyone. Reincarnation researches. So first is the common sense. Like anyone around us, if we see or we got to know, come to know from some of the news channels that some Bollywood or the Hollywood star has just left his body, or we see in our own family, somebody dies or somebody passes away from this world. So when a person dies, we say she or he has passed away. But that person is lying in front of you. Who has passed away? Where has he gone? We say he has gone up. Where up? Where body is still there. Who, what is not present now in the body? Body was functioning just 2 minutes before the death. The body was functioning. He or she was able to move his legs and he was able to speak. But now, why the body is not moving? Hmm? I can move my hands, I can speak, you can listen. But why this lady who is there in the coffin is not able to move? Because people around have gathered that she has passed away. The auntie has passed away. The body is still there. The auntie is still lying there. What is the missing link? That is the consciousness. That is the soul. Actually, the soul has passed away. We discussed in the last session the example of the Bollywood actress Sri Devi. When, as and when someone dies, the identity of that person is totally immediately being changed. It is been converted into a dead body. We do not say that so and so is existing, he is coming. We say the dead body of that person is coming. So immediately within that fraction of second, the soul leaves and that person becomes a dead body. Hmm? So actually, the soul has passed away. The second thing is that was the common sense. Still, we do not have that common sense. Why so? Because uh, for that time period, we remember a little when we see some accidental death or some any death experience in our family or see in the Bollywood or Hollywood. We think that yes, that heart would have stopped functioning, the brain would have stopped functioning. We still think on a scientific platform that why this body is not moving. We do not have the concept of soul, in especially in the medical literature. You see big medical literature, but there's no concept of the soul. So we also think in that scientific platform that would have the heart would have stopped functioning, brain would have stopped functioning. So there was a experiment long back ago that is called Pam Reynolds experiment. If you can Google that, it was the name of a patient, Pam Reynolds. What was what had happened with that patient? Actually, what the scientists were doing, they were thinking that if we do not consider anything, like heart is the cause of our life, brain is the cause of our life, or soul is the cause of life, we'll just think that one thing we cannot deny. What was the one thing that the scientists thought we cannot deny? That we can think thoughts. Thinking that I'm not thinking is also a thought. So they thought that thought is the cause of the consciousness within us. And when later the science evolved, they came to know no, thoughts cannot be the originator of the consciousness in the whole body. So they came to that brain is the cause. From where the thoughts are coming? The thoughts are coming from the brain. So they thought the brain is the cause of our consciousness. So there's something called EEG. Have anybody heard of this? Electroencephalogram. What they do, they put some electric points on the brain and they record some waves on the monitor. That is called electroencephalogram. Like, okay, so there was a patient of coma. We would have heard of coma patients. When the patient is lying, he's in a vegetative state. He is living, but still he is not able to move. So in that case, also we can say that brain is functioning, heart is functioning, but still that patient is not able to move. It means the soul is still there because he's not dead. He's breathing. He is passively breathing or actively breathing. But he's breathing. So they did an experiment. Those coma patients, they put that electroencephalogram on the brain, and they found some waves on that. And EEG was flat for those patients who were in coma patients. So they thought, if brain is the cause of our consciousness, then why the waves are totally flat? If it is flat, it means this patient would have been dead, but this patient is still living. So there are many cases in which the people have in a comatose state for millions of for years and years, for 10 years, 20 years, people are in coma, but still they are alive. So electroencephalogram showed that the brain waves are totally flat. So they came to a conclusion: we are not thoughts, we are not brain. Then they thought we are the heart because heart is pumping up the blood that is causing the consciousness in our whole body. So then that this lady that I am speaking now, Pam Reynolds, comes into picture, and for that patient, they found that there was a brain hemorrhage in his brain. You can Google his case, whole case history. You can read on the Google. There was a brain hemorrhage with this patient, Pam Reynolds. So they needed to do a surgery, a brain surgery. For that, it was such a crucial point inside the brain. They had to stop the heart for that. If they'll stop the heart, the blood flow will not go to the brain and they'll be able to do a successful surgery. So what they did, they artificially stopped the heart. So what happened for that patient, heart is stopped, also stopped, and when they opened the brain is also stopped. So they came to know that now, and they put the ECG now, electrocardiogram, on the heart of that patient, and it was again flat. The ECG is flat, EEG is flat, and they're performing the successful brain surgery. Still that patient is alive. Now they are again confused. We thought we were thoughts earlier, and then we thought we are brain. Now we thought we are a heart. But in this case, specific case of Pamrinol, even heart is also stopped. So then what is the reason? Why this patient is still alive? So scientists are still now, they have not come to a point that they said then something is there in the heart or somewhere which is causing this consciousness. So they are confused, like Arjuna is confused. So the science does not give us a clear picture, but we are actually, like we discussed in the last session also, we are not worth 110 rupees by making all the chemicals, price of all the chemicals, 5 grams calcium, 5 grams phosphorus, magnesium, potassium. We are not that. So science will always give us a, uh, uh, I would say, uh, not a truthful picture. It is giving it a wrong picture that we are this body, we are a heart, we are the uh, mind, we are the brains. And second common sense, what we can have is when we go to a doctor. Like you, all of you would have gone to a doctor some or the other time, and we go to a doctor with some pain. Like we say, there's a pain in my head. Like pain is my arm, pain is my stomach. So if this head is me, I say this is my head. If I tell you Om and Shiv both are sitting there, if you want to point, where is Om in your whole body? Where would you point? You point. Will you point at your hand? Will you point at your head? Will you point at your nose? Where would you point? Where is Om? I don't know who is the Om. Om and Shiv. Acha, oh, black shirt is Om. Om, where would you point yourself? Where are you?
We'll point at the body.
Where in the body? You'll point on your chest, on your stomach. Where are you? And we say, this is my chest, this is my nose. So if this is my nose, like we say, this is my mobile. Presently, I'm not carrying it, it's lying little far away. We say, this is my mobile. So it means I am different and the mobile is different. It belongs to me. Understood? This is my phone. It means I am different. Phone is different. Similarly, when I say this is my nose, this is my head, it means this head is different and I am different. So where am I actually? Where am I lying? Where would you point out? We won't say that Om is in pain. Huh? Om is having pain. We won't say Om is in pain. Huh? It means Om's headache. Om is having headache. There's a pain in his head. There's a pain in his leg. It means the leg is different. Om is different. The nose is different. Om is different. So this is the common sense. Huh? So second thing is scientifically driven is consciousness. Like there are cameras. We see from the camera also we can visualize so many things, but it is a dead matter. It is not conscious. It can give you still pictures or make some videos, but it does not have the uh, consciousness. It's a dead matter. Similarly, but all of us, we have a consciousness. We can see things. We can decipher things. We can decipher between red, blue, white, green according to our eyesight. But camera is not going to categorize everything. He is just going to click the picture. But we living beings, we can actually enjoy the nature. You see the photographs, but think about when were you actually at that point. Like if you would have gone to some for some trip or somewhere, but you were not able to go, your parents have gone, so parents show you some pictures. So you do not get delighted so much by just by seeing the pictures, because you see the nature in the picture, you see the birds in the picture, still you are not able to uh, enjoy and relish those moments what your parents relished over there. So what is the difference? Camera is just a dead matter. The photos is just a dead matter. But when you go actually there with your eyes, what you see, you cannot see from the camera. Are you understanding what I want to convey? Hmm? So
Yes,
consciousness
Prabhuji.
means being aware, thinking, feeling, willing, and intentionality. Intentionally, you can do things, you can enjoy things, you can relish things when you were present there. But just by an artificial camera or a dead matter, we cannot do the things. Uh, like people have very expensive mobiles with them now. iPhone 17 is also coming, and people are liking it so much. But the time will come when I-27 will also come. The I-17 will be the old one. So these things are keep happening in this world. The things will come and go. And similarly, we have come to this world and we will also go. And another common sense, when if you show me a picture when Shiva was 5 years old, you show me a picture of 5-year-old Shiva, I would say, no, this is not Shiv. Shiv is like that. He's a grown up guy now. But Shiv would say, no, no, this is me only. So totally the body has changed. You have grown up now. So, but that 5-year-old Shiv was also Shiv, and 15-year-old Shiv is also Shiv. So, but they're not similar. So, what is the difference? The body has totally changed, but the consciousness is the same. The soul is Shiv. Shiv is the soul present within the body. Hmm? So, we are different, our body is different. So, that is why the name of the session is Discovering Your Inner Self. Hmm? This is called near death experience or out of body experience. You can see many articles and medical researches on this. As you can see, 11 to 14% of the average American population who are mentally and physically healthy have had OBE, out of body experience, when they do an open heart surgery. Hmm? So many of the patients have this out of body experience when they could exactly repeat the things what was happening during the surgery. Like they've given the anesthesia to the patient, patient is totally unconscious. When they say unconscious, it doesn't mean that consciousness has gone somewhere. So it is a misnomer that doctors and scientists use, that patient is unconscious. No, if patient is living, he cannot be unconscious. So anesthesia they give to the patient cannot feel anything. He is in a sleepy condition. He cannot feel any pain. They do the surgery. And many cases when the doctors were doing the surgery and they were discussing how the day was, what they have taken in the breakfast, they went for the golf and everything. And when the surgery was completed, the patient himself, who was in a sleepy state, he could recall each and every discussion that doctors had. How could that be possible? Patient was not able to listen, was not able to experience any pain. So something which is out of the body, he can see and listen each and everyone's discussion happening over there. So that is called out of body experience. This is some not at all related to anything from the scriptures or from the spirituality. You can see Google these medical journals. They are they are existing presently, and doctors and scientists, they have no answer to these questions of the patients. What was that heard and experienced all the discussion of the doctors. Hmm? So enough research is there with impeccable scientific credentials. You can go Google and see all this. There was a book also, research on an eternal soul, and the multiple books you can see on the screen. So these all books were written, compiled on the journey of the soul, the case of heaven, the out of body experience, the handbook of near death experience. So this all about a compilation of the all the cases that doctors had experienced in their lifetime. And there's a professor. The fourth point is was a reincarnation. First was the common sense. Second was the consciousness. Third was the out of body experience. And fourth is the reincarnation research. This is a scientist whose name was Ian Stevenson Carlson, professor of psychiatry in the University of Virginia. He investigated around 3,000 cases of spontaneous reincarnation memories. You can make out the word reincarnation. What does it mean? Anyone? Krishna, can you tell me, please? What does this word reincarnation for you?
Uh, I guess the word reincarnation means that having like avatar or something like that, like rebirth.
Yeah, it is rebirth. Thank you. So it is kind of rebirth. So are we also reincarnated or we are also into rebirth? What is your take on that, Om? Any idea? Do you think you're also a reincarnation or a A rebirth of someone?
I don't know.
Okay. So this Ian Stevenson, he studied 3,000 cases of spontaneous reincarnation memories. Like he studied many cases. I will discuss one by one. Okay. So this is the very famous book in ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, written by K.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This is the cover page of that book, which is called Coming Back. That the same person who was the grandfather, he is coming as a grandson now. So these are all the research work on this reincarnation cases. You won't be believing me, but I am saying now, and I'm trying to uh, make you understand. But there was so much of research on this reincarnation. Why would we even listen about this reincarnation? Like everyone in their life, they have some phobias. Phobias, you understand? Fears. Huh? Mihika, are you phobic of anything?
Yes, bro.
Of what?
Insects and
Insects,
the dark.
darkness. Yes, me too.
Yeah, that's it.
Riyansh and Ritik, are you fearful of anything?
The dark. The dark and like very high heights.
Very heights. Okay. Pratishtha, are you fearful of anything?
Um, not really.
Okay. So everyone in their life, they have some or the other fear. I know if someone says I'm not fearful at all, he is lying. If anyone says, even your parents would say we are not fearful of anything, they are lying. So everyone has some or the other fear in their life. It could be of height, it could be of water, it could be of insects, it could be of lizards. Huh? So everyone has a study which is called phobia, and everyone has a particular name for this. Whosoever is a height like water fearful is called hydrophobia. So there are different kinds of these phobias are there. So why these phobias are there? Why? Because in the previous life we had such a bad experience about that particular incident that has happened in our life, and that might be the cause of our death in the last birth, or might be something very threatening or fearful for all of us. And that is so much engraved into our consciousness, and we are carrying that same phobia or fear in this lifetime also. You didn't have any experience in this life, but from where this experience is coming, you say sometimes like a child who is just 5 years old or 3 year old, he is singing so perfectly with all the suras and every perfect. He's just playing harmonium, he's playing guitar like anything, and he has not learned from anyone. So from where these learnings have come? These learnings are coming from his previous lifetime. So everything what is happening in our life, we have learned some or the other thing in the previous life also. But it is a very unfortunate condition that when we come to this lifetime, we forget everything about our previous life. And you might be having questions in your mind that if this reincarnation is actually truthful, that why are not we remembering anything of our previous life? So anyone wants to answer for that? Why are we not remembering anything of our previous lives? Yeah, Krishna.
Because before giving us new birth, Krishna erases every memory of ours from past lives so that we don't like recall old stuff, and then people can get crazy about that, like remembering
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, we won't be able to live this lifetime peacefully, because if we would be knowing that I was the Queen of England in last birth, and now I am just been born as a middle class in a middle class family, I won't be able to live. And if I was a lizard in last lifetime, I won't be able to live in this human form of life. So Krishna erases all our memory. Very nice. Thanks to Krishna for taking out this point. So phobias, Ian Stevenson is saying Phobias are related to the mode of death of the person whose life is being remembered. Hmm? If the previous life ended in stabbing, then we would be having threat from sharp weapons, knives. If it ended in shooting, we'll be having phobia of firearms. And some people are there who are not able to go to the movies. This in which there is so much of fighting scenes and there's so much of noise of the gunshots and so on. They're not able to tolerate it. So why this is to a particular person having phobias from the previous life. So there's a very case study by Ian Stevenson only that we talk about science and genetics when which is called when two twins are there, they are totally genetically identical. Anybody is studying medical, or you would have heard in your science, biology, genetics, or this? Anyone?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Genetics? Yes, no? Okay. So, in case of twins who are genetically identical, but still their natures are totally different. If science says we are just a body and we are just a mixture of chemicals, so these chemicals that would have come from the mother and father, they mixed together and they became a single zygote. And zygote has been differentiated now into two genetically identical individuals. They look alike. The color is same. The eyes, nose, more or less, it is more or less the same. But still, he might be having different likings and disliking. The other person would be having different. The choices are different. So why is so? If the zygote is same, chemicals are same, parents are same, color is same, height is same, everything is same, then why they have different thinking, liking? Because they are two different souls. Hmm? The concept of the soul doctors forget to put across to us. So this is a again a case study of the soul survivor, the reincarnation of the World War II fighter pilot. Are you able to listen to the video? Is video audible to you?
No, Prabhuji.
Video is not audible.
No, Prabhuji, but we can see the picture. Now
You
we
can see.
can.
You can. Okay. You can see the sentences written down there also.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Just go through this. So you would make out or understand what was the message of the whole story? Who would you like to share? Riyansh, would you like to share? What was the message?
I think that the message from the video is that like reincarnation can be proven by a few instances, like this one, how five-year-old boy was able to remember his past life as a World War II soldier, and like he's gone, like he's kind of like getting a little crazy about it. Like he started having bad nightmares, and yeah.
Mehika, you want to add something?
No, Prabhuji, that's what I was gonna say.
So he was remembering each and every one pilot's name. He was remembering the boat he was there. He was remembering the name of the plane he was uh, shot by Japanese. He was able to remember the nickname of his sister, who was so old now. So all these things cannot happen just by chance. So this one particular story describes us of the reincarnation, makes it little practical for all of us. And again, a case study in India he has done, Dr. Ian Stevenson. Again, you can Google both of the cases. Shukla Gupta, he remembering her past life. She was living in a very small village called Bhatpada somewhere in Bengal or somewhere. So where was she born now when she was 3 or 4 year old? She said she keeps on saying, "I have a house somewhere at other place." And she took her parents straight to that house where she was living. She pointed out the lane, the place where they have to get down from the rickshaw, which was the house. And she was remembering all her mother-in-law, father-in-law, her husband, her daughter, everyone. So again, a life case of reincarnation. There are multiple cases like he discovered 3,000 cases. So what an amazing contribution that man, Ian Stevenson, has put in. So reincarnation makes why reincarnation is important for all of us to understand. Anyone wants to say something on this? Like we are discussing about our inner self and the concept of the soul, and why have we have pointed out this point of reincarnation? Yes, Megha.
Prabhuji, like how we people say like how we are talking about before, like the body and the soul. So like this reincarnation proves that if a person who dies in one life, but in the other one he can remember what he was in the last, it's like something that's there that actually like carried from one to the other. It can't just be like the body just transferred. It's like there's something else that's actually moving from one to the other. So that's where the soul concept comes in.
Yeah, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, um, जातस्य हि ध्रुवं मृत्यु ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च. Whosoever is born, he is sure to die, and whosoever is dead, he is sure to be born. जातस्य हि ध्रुवं मृत्यु. Dhruva means sure as death, as we say. So he's sure to, whosoever dies, he's sure to be reborn again. Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita. So these are the some scientists. They have their own take on this, and they're saying, I'm confident that there is truly such a Socrates is truly such a thing as living again and the living spring from the dead. Hmm? Benjamin Franklin says, finding myself to exist in the world, I believe I shall, in some shape or other, always exist. It means Benjamin Franklin's point is also Krishna also makes in the Bhagavad Gita. We existed always. We are existing and we will be existing always. This is the take home lesson for all of us that, like, if I say, like, if I take my own example, I was born on 28th of May 1987. So, where was I on 27th of May 1987? Just one day prior, I was in the womb of my mother. But if I go little 9, 10 months back in 1986, where was I? We can't say that I was not existing. No. So these points of reincarnation and all these philosophical points that we have discussed, we were existing in some other body earlier. And why it is important for all of us now? Like we left the previous body, we are in the future going to leave this present body too. As I was 5 year old, now I am 15-year old. After 50 years, when I'll be 65 years old, and I'll be, we say old. We say a 5 year child also 5 years old. So old does not mean that who is above 50, he is only old. Even a child of 5 years is also old. Everyone is getting older day by day. We celebrate our birthdays, ninth birthday, 10th birthday. Becoming older day by day. So the day will come in future when we will have to leave this body. And then what next? What's next? Who's the intelligent person? He thinks about what's next. Have I told you the story last time also of a person who entered on the very first day of the year to the kingdom? Have I told you the story? No. Okay. There was a person, there was a rule in the kingdom that whosoever comes on the 1st of January of the first day of the first of the new year, he would be forcefully be taken on the throne of the king. He'll be appointed king, and the whole kingdom belongs to him. And that person was just coming without any reason. He was not knowing there's any rule for the kingdom like that. He was just walking, and people caught hold of him and made him the king. So he should be very happy that I have been made king, and the whole kingdom is mine now. But there was again a rule that he will be king only for 365 days. If he has become the king on 1st of January, he'll be taken out from the king's appointment on 31st of December of that year. And what will happen to him after 31st of December? They will put him at the backyard garden of the kingdom where there are ferocious animals, and it is a forest, and he'll be killed over there. So will that person be happy or sad if he has become a king? If I ask you, if that person would be you, then would you be happy to become a king, or you would be
I would be
okay?
sad.
You would be sad that after 365 days, I'll be thrown back in the backyard jungle, and there are very ferocious animals. But earlier, so many men came, they became king, but they said, okay, after 365 days, I have to go to that ferocious jungle. I can't do anything, but let me enjoy for these 365 days the whole kingdom. So, is it an intelligent person's point of thinking? So, but that person was very intelligent. He said, no need to serve me for these 365 days. I am your king. Follow my order. What you do, you clear out the jungle first. So he made the whole kingdom, the whole people of the kingdom to clear out that jungle, clear out whole ferocious animals from there. And it took them to clear the whole jungle 365 days. And on 31st of December of that year, he just walked from that path safely. So this is a story of an intelligent man. So if we think that I am in this kingdom, I am in this body presently, and but as we have discussed, this body is going to perish. This body is going to perish for some period of time. But if we think unintelligently, no, I will enjoy now, presently. I don't think about future. What's gonna happen next? I don't bother about it. So we are taking an unintelligent decision. So if we are intelligent, what we need to do? We have to think for the future. We have to think for what's next. So if I leave this body, what next kind of body I'm gonna get? This is an intelligent question. So next comes difference between living person and a robot. I think 45 minutes are over, so we will not overshoot the time because it is not a healthy practice to overshoot the time. Then I'll keep on speaking, and the full discussion also for living person and robot is totally different than what we discussed today. So the take-home points for today are 4 points we discussed for the existence of soul: common sense, consciousness. Third one was anyone wants to say?
Reincarnation.
Yeah, fourth. That was the fourth point. What was the third point? Out of body experience, near death experience. Okay, these were the 4 points we discussed about the scientific proof for existence of soul. and we discussed about the common things that in a day routine. We go to a doctor, we say, this is my head, I have a headache, I have a pain in my hand. So this hand is different, I am different. So where am I? We are the soul. We need to look for that. Where exactly I need to point myself in the mirror. I am here. Mihika is here. Rohini Kishore is here. Riyansh is here. Where am I? We don't know. So we will, in this journey, we'll come to know slowly, slowly, step by step. So anyone has any doubts, clarifications, or any add-on points? Yeah, Krishna, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I had like a
Hare Krishna.
question
Yeah.
that you said that the phobias of people are like technically their death cause of lost life. So what if like someone had like a natural death, like they just like died normally? So what would their phobia be?
They might be having phobia, some other different from the previous birth. You do not know na, that at which lifetime they had a bad experience and they died. They have a normal death, means they have a natural death, as you are saying, na? He's become old and has left the body. But he might be having some kind of fear in that body also, and from
Mhm.
where that fear has come from the previous lifetime, that we do not know. So it is totally a complex procedure to know from which lifetime we and what kind of phobia we have got from which lifetime. So we have gone through millions and millions of lifetimes, and which phobias we are carrying in this lifetime, we do not know.
So does that also mean like not necessarily like all phobias had to be like a cause of that?
No, no, phobias are not the cause of death. The cause of death might be the phobia. Okay,
Mhm.
the phobias are not the cause of death. If you are having phobia of a height, so this is not the might not be the cause of your death. You would avoid to going to a height a tall building or somewhere. But if you have the cause of death would be your phobia. So why this phobia?
So
You have any, like Mihika said, I'm having phobia of darkness. So uh, in this lifetime, if you see, you hadn't met any experience of a something happening bad to you in the darkness, but still you are having the phobia of the dark. But some might not be having any phobia of dark, like my son. If I when he's not abiding my orders, then I also say to him that I'll put you in the dark room. But when I put him in the dark room, he is smiling and happy. He is not at all fearful of the dark situation. So everyone has different phobias, different inclinations from where they are coming. They are just coming from the previous lifetime that they're carrying.
mm, okay.
Yeah, Riyansh, please.
Prabhuji, so that James, he used to be a fighter pilot, right? And he
Yes.
died when he was shot down.
Yeah, by
So then
Japanese.
in the next life, shouldn't he have been like scared of planes, not really loving them? Like he should be scared of planes, going near planes, because he
So,
died in a plane.
yeah, he died in a plane. Not necessarily the cause of death becomes your phobia. Phobias was just to give us an idea that why these phobias are existing. Okay, as I said, the cause of death might be your phobia. It is not that for surely that would be your phobia. But he was liking planes. You can see in his room, they were all around. There are different planes are there. When he approached a plane, he was like inspecting each part of the plane, and he was very enjoying sitting in the cockpit. So there might be some positive memories also from that. Like he died as he was a brave heart when he was fighting for his country. Then that time he died. So he was having a positive memory also that I died when I was fighting for my country. So he had that inclination. No, I will again go and again fly the planes and I'll again fight for my country. So there might be positive inclination also. Not necessarily there would be only negative inclination, and it gets converted to phobia. So don't take it otherwise that cause of death surely is going to become your phobia. No, this is not my point of uh, my view of saying this to you. Okay, Mihika?
Roji, I had a question regarding how, like, we discussed about a few examples of like past life, like people are able to. So, like, my question is that why did Krishna like give, like, why were these specific people like able to remember their past life? Why we're not like all, but like why were these specific people?
Might be to tell all of us and give us an overview and an instinct to get to know that yes, there's an existence of soul. That could be one reason. The other reason is, like Krishna says to Arjuna also, that there were millions and millions of lifetimes you were in those lifetimes, but you are not remembering any of your previous lifetimes. But I, who is the originator of the science, originator of the soul, originator of everything. I remember each and every lifetime of yours. So Krishna remembers our each and every lifetime, but we are not remembering. And your question is why these typical souls, only these 3,000 cases? This is the 3,000 cases that he has searched for. There might be lakhs of cases like this. They were not being found. So, uh, to um, there's another point into that. Whenever one leaves one's body and when he's totally very much engrossed into his family affairs, then and some things he or she was not able to do in this lifetime, and unnaturally he dies before time. So in those cases, those memories are so much into their head, so much into their consciousness that they being carried into the next life. You're getting my point?
Yes, Prabhuji.
We might not be having so much engrossed in our previous life, and we would have maybe fulfilled all our desires and whatever we need to do, but somehow these cases were the specific cases, and they were having so much of impression, so much engrossed into their life. Like this James case, you see, he was totally engrossed in fighting as a acting as a fighter pilot. So he wanted to fight for his country and win for his country, but accidentally, because of that one shot by Japanese, he was found. He got his plane got fired and he was dead. So he, because of that consciousness, 24/7, he was into flying. He was into firing. So in the next lifetime, he's remembering everything. Okay, when we are too much engrossed in our surroundings, in our material environment, that becomes more engraved in our consciousness, and that might be the reason that all these cases were remembering the previous lifetime.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other thing, Riyansh? No. Okay. Thank you so much for your intelligent questions and intelligent um, understanding and participating in the discussion. I was thinking that today's session is going to be a little more like it goes from the head. It will not, we will not be able to understand and grasp it more. But yes, you people are very much intelligent and you have easily absorbed the today's session also, and might be little insight into it, and might be these thoughts are going to give you a little scratch on your heads, and you keep thinking, who am I? Why am I here? What I need to do in this lifetime? So these were the questions that should come to one's mind by attending these sessions. So I would like to thank each and every one of you, and please keep coming and joining for the session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you very much for all your enlightening and insights on this topic. So, Prabhuji, can we wind up our class?
Yes, please. Thank you. Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna to everyone. Have a nice weekend. Hare Krishna.